Welcome to Affirmated TV. Don't forget to subscribe for more Affirmated content and education.
Welcome to Affirmated TV's This Is What You Missed podcast, where we discuss the most trending topics.
Troops have been sent to Texas border from Georgia and Florida as well as other states to support with the migrant crisis. Can someone tell us what is going on with the Biden administration?
The situation at the southern border is showing no signs of easing up. Now the state of Florida is stepping up to help stem the flow of migrants into the United States. And that involves sending hundreds of Florida troops to Texas. Our Mark Wilson is here now to explain. So Mark, bring us up to speed.
Well, it's not the first time he's sent folks to Texas. Keep that in mind. Governor DeSantis said today that he's deploying members of the Florida State Guard and the Florida National Guard both to Texas. And the plan now is to help them assist Texas officials to try to get a better handle on the spike in undocumented immigrants right now that are crossing the U.S.-Mexico border. And this, of course, comes as the state of Texas continues to butt heads with the federal government. A dispute that stems from the Supreme Court's recent decision here to allow federal agents to remove razor wire that Texas recently installed along the border. Governor DeSantis argues that the states have the right to defend their borders regardless of what the federal government does, which is why he is sending Florida troops to Texas. And he says specifically sending the State Guard along with the National Guard because he said that's necessary for sovereignty. He says today that the federal government would have no control over our State Guard troops, unlike National Guard troops. Still, one state lawmaker slams the move, calling it a stunt, questioning the governor's focus following his run for president.
If Texas is helping to erect barriers, putting up razor wire, doing other things to keep illegal aliens out, I want to be helpful with them doing that. I don't want to be part of the federal government trying to tear down these barriers and let more people in illegally.
We should not be sending them to the border because this is not their job. This is not for Florida to get involved in, and we certainly have plenty of crises to deal with here at home.
So many didn't even really know about the State Guard, of course. That State Guard that Florida has, that Governor DeSantis is referring to, was actually formed as a reaction to COVID vaccine mandates just a few years ago. And we also note this, Florida's been sending members of the National Guard along with state law enforcement officers to Texas for several months now. In fact,
Governor Gregg Abbott takes to the stage to discuss his plan on using the guardsmen to protect the border and place more barbed wire to keep illegal migrants out. This plan would be very helpful to support in guiding migrants to the designated areas of entry into the country. It can also support in decreasing the cartel in using these illegal entry points. We think this is a good thing. It will support in helping ease the burden on the resources that Texas has had to take the brunt of the weight as a result of the migrant crisis. This crisis has costed millions of taxpayer dollars that we think that the current administration needs to put its foot down and stop this influx of illegal activity. Take a listen and leave a comment.
In a very strategic area, it will increase the speed and flexibility of the Texas National Guard to be able to respond to crossings. We all know what's been going on at Shelby Park. Actually, what's going on in Shelby Park is now less than what was happening a month ago or 2 months ago or a year ago, definitely. But what we need to be able to do, and that is to make sure that the National Guard has the flexibility and the proximity to any type of crossings north or south of Shelby Park so that they will be able to move swiftly to those locations and be able to impede the ability for anybody to cross illegally. This will organize substantial forces also to expand the razor wire barriers that are going up. In this area, listen, we've seen the effectiveness of the razor wire in Shelby Park, where crossings have gone from 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000 people a day to less than 1% of that crossing illegally per day. And that's because of the effectiveness of the razor wire. Our goal is to make sure that we expand the effectiveness of that razor wire to more areas along this border. Having the soldiers located right here, right by the river, they're going to have the ability to more quickly be able to...
Welcome to Affirmated TV's This Is What You Missed podcast, where we discuss the most trending topics.
Thanks for watching. Feel free to watch another video.